Hello! My name is Tiffany Reyes. I'm a fantasy author and welcome to Tiffany Writes Books. So on today's video, I am making a tag. I've never made a tag before. I didn't even really understand what tags were until recently. So maybe I'm doing this wrong. If I am, sorry. I don't know if this tag has ever been done before. Maybe it has, maybe it hasn't. I don't know. I did a little research. I couldn't really find anything like this. If it has been done, I mean, the more the merrier, right? So what's the tag? Choose 10 of your favorite writing memes and explain why they best describe your feelings towards writing. So I did 10 memes and then I'm ending it with a quote that I found on a meme site. I just thought it would be nice to end on a, not that it's not a high note. I don't know, I just wanted a quote at the end. Okay, so let's begin. So here is the first meme. I know you're crushing on your own characters. I don't know about you guys, but I crush on my characters hard. I fall in love with my characters, and I don't mean, you know, just like, oh, they're so great. I mean, like, I fall in love. Like, I'm like, if you were real, I mean, wedding rings and all of that. I love my characters, but some of them I just make so attractive, whether it's their personality or the way they look or just how bad they are. You know, I have more crushes on fictional characters in general than I do on any human beings. You know, humans, people, real people, I find, you know, sure, they're attractive here and there, but fictional characters, whoa. Do you crush on your characters? Write it in the comments below. It'd be nice to know that I'm not the only one. Some people, I think, in my life find that kind of weird, and I don't know what to do but to admit that it's true. Meme number 2. Okay, so here is a situation where people just don't get what it takes to be a writer. You know, I have this problem to a small degree. Fortunately, a lot of the people I know, family and friends, understand that it's a lot of hard work and it takes a lot of dedication and a lot of things to be a writer. But I know that there's a lot of people who just, you know, I've gotten that before, like, oh, what do you do? I hate telling people that I'm a writer because I know they think less of me. So when somebody says, oh, what do you do? I say I work retail or whatever I'm doing, and I don't usually say I'm a writer. I'll say, oh, I write on the side, because I just get too much where people just, they get that look, you know, on their face, and you're just like, yeah, they kind of think that you have no life, because for some reason writing is different than, for example, being like an oil painter. Like an oil painter, oh, you create masterpieces, works of art, and it's visible, everyone can see it, you know. But when you're a writer, it's like, I guess in a way everybody can be a writer because anyone can just put pen to paper, but you know, it takes a lot more to step up from just writing like everybody else and writing to try to publish and talk to the world. And on that note, here is meme number 3. This one, which one is it again? This is me, to the T and Tiffany. Yeah, this one is definitely me. I write, a huge reason I write, I'm not even gonna pretend it's not this. A huge reason that I write is so that I can become a career author, and because that's what I want to do. I want to make my living off of writing. There's no way around it. That's the core of what I want. I want it more than anything else. And I do consider it leaving this quote-unquote shitty life behind. And meme number 4. When I start draft 1 of any book, I'm like, how am I going to finish this? I mean, what? How is this gonna work? About the midway point, I'm always like, oh my god, I'm never gonna be able to finish it. I'm gonna lose steam, I'm gonna lose interest, something is gonna happen. When I get to the end and I write the end, not that I literally write the end, but you know, when I write the last line, I am just like dead. It's like the guy in the photo, like I'm dead to the world, I'm done. I've given everything creatively. And you know, it takes me a couple of hours to recover, and then all of a sudden I'm like, boom, let's do draft 2. Meme number 5. So this one I saw a long time ago when this photo first started to get really popular, and I totally understand how this is. I know this is how it works for lots of writers. You know, it's hard to dedicate all your attention to one idea because you get so many so often. Sometimes you have droughts where you can't get any ideas. But for me, I'm the opposite. I always have tons of ideas flowing. Lots of ideas, not all good ones, but definitely lots of ideas, and it's hard for me to focus on one. Usually I'll just kind of, if I find one that I really like, I'll cut off all other thoughts of any other ideas, or I won't even try to expand in the least bit on an idea, and then that way I can just completely focus myself on the idea that I feel has the potential to become a book. Meme number 6. When I try to fix plot holes, it is so stressful, and I feel like I try to do the least work possible to fix the plot hole. Sometimes I have to restructure entire arcs or the entire book. Usually I try to just come up with something like maybe the magician did something, or somebody had poison drink, or something quick just to get it out of the way. If it's, I've never, that I can recall, have huge gaping plot holes. I'm sure those times are coming, especially when I get into writing a full series, but see what happens. Meme number 7. This one is definitely me as well. When I go through my draft 3, draft 1 is obviously just getting the book down, the skeleton. Draft 2 is really just where I read it really quick and just check things off, fix this, fix this, fix this. Draft 3 is usually my big draft. That's the one where I will spend an hour, on one paragraph just trying to make it sound perfect. So I definitely know how this feels. You gotta get it right, you gotta make sure it just captures that reader and just makes them go, damn, that is one good book. Meme number 8. Usually I go through about 4 or 5 drafts, usually about 5 drafts of a book, and every time it's just more and more difficult. Well, that's not necessarily true. The first 3 drafts are very difficult. Then I usually send it to my friend who's also an editor, or my editor who's also my friend, and he will usually tell me some big picture stuff to go over, and then that one will take a lot of work. But usually by the last draft, it's not that bad because it's just fixing typos here and there and just tweaking little minor things. So by that point, I've just given it all I've got. Meme number 9. So with this one, I think every writer can relate to this. I always love going through my book and writing it or the first time, and then you write a couple pages and you want to keep going, but you're like, oh, those pages were so good, I just got to go through them one more time, so you go back and you reread it and you're like, yeah, I'm good. And then you keep reading and you go on and on. After a while, you've got a couple chapters down, and then you find yourself going back and rereading those chapters. I do that all the time. It's not because I have an ego, it's just because it's so awesome seeing it come together. You plan and plot for so long, and then when you finally see these characters in this world and they're functioning, you're like, damn. Meme number 10. This is the one. This is the one that I hate probably more than anything in writing. I hate writing a synopsis. When I'm querying and an agent says that she or he requires a synopsis, I'm like, Jesus, God help me, because now I have to write this garbage. I hate writing a synopsis. I don't even try to pretend otherwise. I know some writers are great at it. I know some writers can give you advice on it. I can't do either of those. I hate them. So those are all my memes, and I think that those really describe most writers, I think, otherwise they wouldn't be memes, and definitely me, and I hope you can relate to a couple of those. There's nothing here, I don't know why I'm pointing. They're fun, they're funny. Credits to all the dudes who made up these memes down below, or dudettes, whatever. I want to end this with a quote. Now there's something over there. They're far from perfect, but I'm proud of all the stories I've written. And I am. And not all of them made it to becoming a published book. Not any of them. None of them have made it to becoming a published book. And agents have shot them down time and time and time again. And so many people, I feel, agents don't want to give them a try, and publishers don't want to give them a try, and nobody wants to give them a try, but I love my stories and I love my characters. And even though it pains me to know that the world will never see them, at least I got the chance to meet them. So that's it. If you like this video and want to see more like this, please subscribe. I'll see you next week.